This is the last week of August. Week 1 was about awareness, letting go of hurt. Week 2 was emotional truth. You're not missing them, you're missing the feeling. Week 3 was the deep work, grief release, stop clinging. And this week, week 4, is about completion, closure and power. But let's clear something up straight away. You don't need closure to move on. And I know that goes against everything you've been told. Because most people believe, I just need answers. I just need to understand what happened. I just need that final conversation. But even when people get that, they still feel stuck. So the problem isn't the lack of closure. It's what you think closure is going to do for you. Because if you've ever thought, if I could just talk to them one more time, if I could just understand it properly, if they would just explain, then you're not alone. But you're looking for resolution in the wrong place. Closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you deciding, this is finished, this is complete, and I'm not staying connected to it anymore. If you're new here, hi, I'm Cherry. I'm a spiritual life coach, numerologist, and energy alchemist. And this month we've been working with Energy 8, the pranic body, the part of you responsible for your life force, your energy patterns, your emotional loops, and whether energy completes or stays open. So when something feels unfinished, you're not just talking about the situation. We're talking about energy that hasn't been closed properly. Because as long as you're waiting for closure from someone else, you'll keep that connection open. You're keeping your energy tied to something that's already ended. Now, before we go any deeper, if this is already hitting something inside of you, hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. Because this is where you stop waiting for answers and start actually moving on. So let's clear this up properly, because most people don't actually understand what closure is. They think closure is getting answers, having the final conversation, understanding everything that happened, hearing it from the other person. But even when they get that, it doesn't fully land, because closure isn't information, it's resolution. Closure is the moment your system decides, this is complete, there's nothing else for me here. I'm no longer engaged with this. And that doesn't require the other person. Now, from an Energy 8 perspective, closure happens when energy finishes moving through your system, not when someone explains themselves, because explanation doesn't complete energy. And I'm going to say this honestly, you don't need more answers. You're hoping the answers will change how you feel. What you're really waiting for is relief, clarity, a sense of finality. And you've attached that to the idea of closure. Because the longer you wait for it from someone else, the longer you keep the connection open. Because your system is still expecting something to complete it. There's also a psychological layer here. Your mind wants a clear ending, a logical explanation, something that makes sense, because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But the truth is, most situations don't end neatly. People don't always explain themselves properly. Things don't always make sense, and waiting for that keeps you stuck. From a pranic body perspective, closure requires for you to stop engaging with the energy, for you to allow the emotion to complete, and for you to decide the connection is finished. Not because everything is explained, but because you're no longer feeding it. So the shift is this. Closure is not something you receive. It's something that you create. And this is where it gets even more important. Because once you understand that, you have to look at why you've been holding on to the need for closure in the first place. So if closure doesn't actually come from them, why do you still feel like you need it? Because part of you is still attached. And before you judge yourself for that, let's be clear. Attachment doesn't mean you're weak. It means something in that situation still has emotional value to you. You're not just waiting for closure, you're holding on to what it meant, what it could have been, how it made you feel, the version of you that existed in it. And closure feels important because it feels like it would validate your experience, confirm what you felt was real, make sense of the confusion. But let's be honest, you already know enough. You just don't like what the truth means. There's also control in this, because as long as you're waiting for closure, you're still engaged with the situation. You're still thinking about it, still analysing it, still connected to it. And that creates a sense of, I'm doing something. I'm still in it. It's not fully over yet. But what you're actually avoiding is this, accepting that it's finished without explanation. Now, from an Energy 8 perspective, as long as you're waiting, you're still feeding the energy. You're still circulating the connection. You're still holding the loop open. And then there's hope. Because needing closure often comes with, maybe there's more to this. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe I just don't understand yet. And hope keeps the connection alive. But closure doesn't come from hope. It comes from decision. And this is the shift. You're not waiting for closure. You're delaying letting go. And once you see that, you can stop waiting. But you need to learn how to close it yourself. So now you can see it. You're not waiting for closure. You've been delaying letting go. And this is where everything changes, because closure isn't something you receive. It's something you decide. We're not trying to get answers. We're not trying to understand every detail. We're closing the loop in your system. And again, from an Energy 8 perspective, closure happens when energy stops circulating through the same pattern, not when the situation makes sense. So let's bring this into your body. I want you to sit comfortably. Drop your shoulders. Place one hand on your chest and one on your lower belly. Inhale slowly through your nose for the count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now bring to mind the situation you've been waiting for closure on. Not the whole story, just enough to feel it. Notice what comes up in your body. The tension, the pull, the unfinished feeling. That sensation is what you've been trying to resolve externally. But this time, you're not waiting for anything from them. You're closing it yourself. So as you breathe, say internally, this is complete. I'm not waiting for anything else. I release this now. Not because everything makes sense, but because you're choosing not to stay connected. Because what you're doing right now is stopping the energy from circulating. You're not feeding the loop anymore. Now imagine your energy returning to you, not forcibly, naturally, and say, I call my energy back. I release what is not mine to hold. And as you continue to breathe, say, I can let this go without needing answers. I am safe to move on. Let your system feel that. Stay with your breath. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And notice, even if it's subtle, something settles. That's closure. Closure doesn't come from understanding everything. It comes from deciding. Deciding I'm done engaging with this. The version of you who moves on isn't someone who gets perfect endings. They're someone who creates their own, trusts their own decisions, and doesn't stay connected to what's finished. And when you start doing that, you stop waiting, because you no longer need anything outside of you to move forward. So now you've felt it, not just the idea of closure, but what it actually feels like to create it yourself. And this is where it becomes real, because you're going to have moments where you think about it again. You feel that pull. Your mind starts asking questions. That doesn't mean it's not closed. It means your system is adjusting to not engaging with it anymore. You're not going to suddenly forget everything. You're just not going to stay connected to it in the same way. So this week, when it comes up, don't go back into analyzing, questioning, trying to figure it out. Pause, breathe, and remind yourself, this is already complete. I'm not reopening this. That's it. Because closure isn't something you keep recreating. It's something you hold. From an Energy 8 perspective, this is where your energy stabilizes. It's no longer circulating in the past, tied to that situation, waiting for something external. It's back with you. And when that happens, you feel clearer, lighter, more grounded and more present. Not because everything made sense, but because you stopped needing it to. The version of you who truly moves on isn't someone who gets perfect endings. They're someone who decides what's finished, honors their own closure, and doesn't reopen what they've already closed. And if you keep doing this, you'll notice something powerful. You stop waiting. You stop questioning. You stop feeling like something is missing. because nothing is. If this is landing and you're ready to stop waiting for things to resolve themselves, and if you're ready to go even deeper, in the description box below is my Numerology freebie quick guide, so you can understand the numbers in your chart. And as we close out this month and complete the journey through Energy Body 8, I want to ask you one question. Who are you now that you understand your power differently? Because this month has never just been about learning concepts. It was about remembering that your energy is precious, your boundaries matter, and your life force is not something you've meant to spend proving your worth. If these August videos have supported you, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and join this community. Tap that notification bell so you never miss a video. We're not just collecting spiritual information here. We're building lives that feel aligned, empowered, and deeply authentic. And next month, we step into Energy 9, where we explore completion, refinement, and the endings that make space for new beginnings. If you're wondering what season of life you're personally in right now, start with my free Numerology quick guide, linked in the description box below. It will help you uncover the core numbers that shape your unique path. And if you're ready for real clarity, let me create your personalized numerology report, where we go far beyond the basics. I'll decode your soul blueprint and show you the patterns, lessons, and opportunities that are specific to you. Before you leave, I'd love to know, what has been your biggest shift during the August series? Was it boundaries, burnout, power, capacity, or something completely unexpected? Share it in the comments below, because I genuinely love witnessing your transformation. Remember, sustainable power isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming more fully yourself. Thank you for walking through this month with me. Keep protecting your life force. Keep trusting your inner wisdom. And I'll see you in the next chapter of this journey. Bye for now.